Welcome to MTBXP. I'm David, and today we're biking on a budget. So hailing from somewhere in China, coming in at 4.4 pounds, we have the UDing 27.5 plus air fork. So we have 144 millimeters of travel. We have a solo air spring, Schrader valve. We do have lockout. We also have rebound dampening. So this has a lot of the features that you can find on a lot more expensive forks. Forks that can go between $300, $600 there. So, but you know, asterisk, this fork is not for the bros. This fork is for all you bikers out there biking on a budget, because it can get really expensive, and this is somewhere where I was willing to take the cut in the cost, but also what you're sacrificing is complete traceability in anything regarding the fork, right? We have 6061 T6 crown. We have aluminum stanchions. These are 32 millimeter stanchions. We also have an alloy fork lower. That's right, alloy. Is there anything that can prove any of these claims? No. Is there any traceability whatsoever? No. Is there any warranties on this whatsoever? No. But it is $200. Taking a closer look at this fork, we have 8.5 inches of steer tube. We have markings to help you set your sag for 140 millimeters, 130, 80, 120, 100. Lots of different settings for fork travel. That tells me that you can definitely change your fork travel on this guy. Probably gonna take some effort in terms of dismantling it. Moving to the bottom, we do have a 15 millimeter by 110 millimeter axle, threaded on one side, quick release on the. One of the issues I see with this fork is the end nut for the axle. The end nut is held in place by a set screw here at the bottom of the fork. When I got this fork, this end nut was loose, as I expected it to be, so that it can rotate and so you can set your quick release handle at the right place. But also that it was marred up a little bit, so telling me that if you do set your set screw in the wrong place and not inside this little well that they give you, you might have a problem just messing up the metal here, so that you can actually pop out later in the future if your axle is not threaded in. So one of the risks that you're going to take on when you do buy a budget fork just like this is receiving it to begin with. I ordered this fork about a month ago, and it took about a month to arrive. And in terms of shipping notices, you get one notice when it ships and one notice when it gets delivered, so that's about it. And that can make people extremely uncomfortable. Also, going through these vendors, again, it's a matter of security and whether or not you're willing to give your credit card information to these people. Again, there's just a risk that I took. I did end up with a product, and a fairly decent product at that. This is probably the second time I've ordered a fork through China. Received it, first one worked well, so I went ahead and just got another one here. Another question or another risk that you guys are going to be incurring is going to be reliability, because it is completely unknown in terms of reliability there. We do take for granted names like Fox, RockShox, that they have high reliability. It's just because of name recognition. I mean, I'm not sure, maybe there is a lot of data, a lot of people own them, little failures. Not a lot of people own these, so one failure, small sample size, extremely high rate of failure, so extremely unknown. In terms of failure, you know, you can have the stanchions collapsing on you, you can have the axles break, you can have bends in anywhere in the metal. It's also assuming that the claims in terms of the metal that they use is actually what they say it is, but you never really know. But again, I'm not going hardcore on double black trails. This is completely good for what I need it for. I don't need a $500 fork, but this is going to serve me fine. Again, not for the bros, but for all you people on your budget. So is this a fork that I would recommend? Based on my previous experiences, I had no issues. Feel that the risks are either on the low to moderate probability that they will occur. However, the consequences are high. And I will leave that to you. So thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.